Welcome back, everybody. Normally, if you've watched my channel, you know I like to go into the events that they are having for area celestials and kind of dive in and let you know what the average investment or typical investment should be if you really want to obtain one of the prizes. And I've been struggling to make this video just simply because I don't think I've seen more events overlap or be convoluted or mismatched in so many ways, and I'll explain that in a second, than I have right now. So 4 days ago the resource event came out, at least for my server it did, or resource tycoon, excuse me, which is always a fun one. It's always a race to see who can gather the most, and usually draws out, the bigger fish continue to always win, shocking there, but at the same time gives you a lot of extra gems and prizes and resources that you wouldn't have acquired elsewise. So I always one of my favorites, but then on top of that they just started putting event on top of event. So long story short, I just kind of want to go over what's going on, at least at this current moment. It may be past by the time you watch this, but if you do catch this in the next 24 hours and you do want to take part in this event, it is kind of cool that it's overlapping so much, but it's still one I'm staying out of. I spent a little bit just because I needed something, not necessarily pending towards this or any of these events specifically. So if you see that I have acquired a little bit here, it's not out of intent to gain a prize from these investments, but or these events, excuse me. But under the hot events tab, you're actually going to find a duplicate total spending, so different prizes for the exact same event and same threshold. Some spirit stones, mythic stones, fragments for relics, and just some basic weapons and armor spirit stones for you. And on the other side, you're going to have a few different souls, but nothing too crazy. Some gems, a potion, nothing really worthy of it. And by all means, I don't even know what it is, $2,000 worth of diamonds for a relic. Get out of here. This is just astronomically insane. And then on the total top-up side, it gives you a few extra prizes for spending up to $60 worth if you're trying to gather some more fragments, or at least refinement stones to craft some better gems for you. But the weaker of all events is just an additive to it, in my opinion. But I've never seen them come out with two total spendings and a top up, and then include, I don't want to say top up again, or but they have under the sprite shine, which is weird that they have this here, and you'll see why in a second. They have this event, simply says wish you a happy day. Now, to take part in this event, it says complete a quest. Now, the quest itself could be any one of these in this event. Okay, it's not a daily quest or a guild quest or anything that your normal activity would do. And the only way to get started, from my experience with one of these, was to invest 2,500 diamonds and reach at least level 550, right, or 50 of the special levels. So I did, mainly because I was running a little bit low on rubies and I wanted to grab the rubies. So that's why I've invested a little bit in this one, because I ended up netting, I don't know, anywhere like 8,000 rubies from it, and that's really what I needed. But some of them are really weird and most people won't have, right? Like, you complete the quest, which is great, you spend the 2,500 diamonds, but then you have to have con. Not everybody has con, right? I don't have con. And then you have the Santa sleigh. That was kind of a cheesy mount to begin with, so it's not one I personally invested in. And the other ones were more relatively easier to obtain, like the starting one with the level and the top up, and then you had the VIP level one with the quest, which was the 2,500 diamonds and the VIP level. Do you have Elysian Venoris, which I do, so I got that one. And then if you spend 2,500 diamonds, which I then reinvested in the event, I got another 1,000, so on and so forth, right? Spend 5,000 to get 1,000. I did this actually on accident, and I hate these things, and I will tell you what they are here in a second, and I'm sure you already know. But anyways, so you go through these and you see it's kind of a weird one. If I didn't have a couple of these, like Venoris and the VIP level, I wouldn't really have invested in this one. Really weird structure. It's like you buy and spend just to get a different resource, which, they're very clever on how they do this, but at the same time, not super aggressive to invest in. Now, under the Fairyland event, they actually put the Shrine event, even though the Shrine event has that weird ruby. I digress. I mean, it's just all over the place this time. This is probably the worst organization, of any event that I've really seen. In the hot events, again, which is titled hot events, but it's not under the hot events tab, uh, gift party. I hate these things. I see the red dot. I think I did an achievement to grab whatever, right, that the event is calling for, whatever currency, and I go in and I just click it. And I made the mistake. It wasn't this one. It was the one prior. I was spending 3,500 rubies for 120 basic mount fruit. And, like, when that happened, my heart just stopped. I was like, are you kidding me? I spent this money to investigate these rubies, and now I just blew them, right? The only reason saving grace that made me feel better was it gave me a significant boost in the resource tycoon event. So, and it got me closer to getting the other 1,000 from spending the rubies in the event we just looked at. So I kind of justified it to myself, but not planned. I mean, it was awful. I mean, this is a waste. Who wants to spend 50 diamonds for one fragment, right? So by math, that's 5,000 diamonds to get, this feather, so on and so forth. And we're talking, about level, what is this, Feather of Radiance? I mean, level 3, I mean, come on. 4, you're going to need $200 worth. I mean, it's just silly, right? And even if you go down to the cheaper ones, it's just, they're a waste, and they're always lit up, and you always think you want something. So just be wary the night you're going through and clicking, because I've done this twice now. Once, the first time I wasted $50 worth of diamonds. This time I wasted 3,500 rubies. Each time, my heart sank to my stomach, and just not a good feeling. So if you're out there, GT Arcade, get rid of these. I mean, it's just, you're literally just being greedy at that point and trying to get people to accidentally spend their hard-earned or hard-paid-for resources, and that's cheap, guys. I mean, you're not doing anybody any favors with these. As far as the Shrine event itself, this is one of the major events that's happening right now. So we have a Shrine event, we have the Magic Array event, we have Happy Coin event, we have the Resource Tycoon event. I mean, I'm probably missing one, but it's just, how can you really keep up with all this? And I know overlapping is good, but this is pretty ridiculous. So long story short, for the Shrine event, if you really were going to invest in this event itself, or any of these events, you're going to want to spend at least $80. $80 is going to be the threshold that gets you to the, what do you want to say here for us? If you go down to one of the mounts or whatever, the 20,000 currencies or whatever they are called here, it doesn't even click on it and say, to acquire all the essences to craft one of these mounts, sprites, Elysians, whatever you go ahead and grab. And some of these prices are just astronomical, right? So $80 would get you 22,000 of these pieces. So really, I mean, you have to do that, 3 days in a row and spend $240 to get one level 5 feather. Again, I mean, the mounts and things came out, but the augmentation and morphs came out for the wings, which is okay, but that's not really what, in my opinion, the players were asking for. We were asking for the actual ones to be more affordable, not to come out with different cheesy ones that, nobody really wants to wear anyway. No offense, some of them are cool, but, it's not what in my opinion, what we were asking for. But I digress. Really, if you spend the 80 in one day, you'll gather enough through the top-ups, consumables, precious, etc., to go ahead and be able to buy one of the main prizes, I should say mount, Elysian, or sprite prizes in that event there for you. Okay? And I don't understand. It's under Fairyland. It's not under Sprite Shine. It's all whack-jawed. And then under, again, hot events, but not under hot events, right? Because it's under the sales event tab. I can't even keep them straight anymore. You have your Magic Array, which is, I think, a waste of time. I mean, who really wants to spend whatever this is, $200 worth of diamonds to potentially get Santa's sleigh? Personally, not even close to worth it, and the subsequent prizes are not worth 100 diamonds to begin with. I rolled it once just to see, and I literally got 10 basic essences. That's not even close to worth 100 diamonds. So avoid that at all costs, unless you're just have an abundance of stuff to spend, I guess. But the disc frisbee is the other main event here for us, where we're going to have the same kind of concept, right? Now the prizes here are quite more linear and not necessarily as tangible or linear, right? You can't grab X amount and get this prize for sure. You're just going to spin and hopefully get, some nice Tyrant Soul gear, maybe a Celestial Weapon or Armor Stone, and the rest not really great, except for, of course, Con Essences would be nice, right? I'm still working towards him as well. And then they added Happy Shake on top of that, and that's what you're going to have, here for you with the total top-ups for the Happy Shake. So it's like, look, you're going to get Happy Shakes. You're going to get Disc Frisbees. You could do the Magic Array. You could do... I can't even keep them straight anymore. It's ridiculous. Like, there's no mathematical absolute breakdown of the best way to do this, in my opinion. I'm just staying away from it because it's so convoluted it's not even funny. And then, of course, the Resource Tycoon is almost over. But always a fun one just to grind out throughout the 4 or 5 days that it's available, just to get what you can, because they do have some nice target reward prizes that you're able to acquire, whether it's relic fragments, stones, some costumes, things of that nature that you don't necessarily have to pay for. Maybe some you do, depending on the tier that you get them from. But long story short, this one isn't a cookie cutter, clean cut video, ladies and gentlemen. I do apologize. I'm kind of ranting and raving all over the place. But the message really here is stay away from this one. If you need something small, individual, great. If not, just take what you get. Work towards, Con or whomever you're trying to achieve essence-wise, and just move on. And hopefully this will clean itself up, because this is just too much. All this, there's already enough buttons on the screen, but all this convolution between events really start leaning towards the League of Angels kind of concept, and I'm not thrilled about it. So I'm hoping it's a one-time thing, but I at least want to get on and talk to everybody about it. Please, if you have different comments or I'm missing something, shout it out to me in the comments. Let me know I'm stupid and I'm missing something great here for us. But just want to shout out my opinions for everybody. So as always, I truly appreciate everybody tuning in and watching. Please subscribe if you want to support the channel, and I'll catch you in the next episode.